young woman named Emma once lived in a small, peaceful town nestled in the hills. To most people, Emma appeared to have a perfect life. She had a stable job, a loving family, and a group of close friends who cared deeply for her. But despite her outward success, Emma struggled with something that no one else could see: her thoughts. Emma's internal dialogue was often negative, and over time, it had taken a toll on her well-being. No one knew that her brightest smiles masked an unrelenting storm within that whispered doubts into her mind, casting shadows over her sense of self-worth. She could never remember a time when she felt truly confident in herself. No matter how much praise she received or how much she accomplished, a little voice inside her always found fault, reminding her that she was never good enough. It all started when Emma was younger, just a girl in middle school. She vividly remembered a time when she was ridiculed by her classmates for stumbling through a presentation. Her classmates laughed, and from that moment on, a voice in her head began to echo the same criticisms she heard that day. "You are not smart enough," it would say. "You are going to embarrass yourself again." As Emma grew older, that critical inner voice only grew louder. It overshadowed her achievements, downplayed her successes, and highlighted her mistakes. When she graduated from college with honors, instead of celebrating, her mind fixated on the one mistake she made during her final exams. When she was promoted at work, she couldn't fully enjoy the moment because she was consumed with anxiety, convinced that she didn't deserve it. Despite her external success, Emma's negative self-talk kept her in constant self-doubt and worry. She found herself withdrawing from challenges, avoiding risks, and settling for mediocrity to prevent the potential for failure. She felt stuck, trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage. One evening, after a tough day at work, Emma stared out of the window of her small apartment, her mind spiraling with thoughts of inadequacy. "I am never going to be enough," she thought, tears welling in her eyes. "I will never be able to escape this feeling." That's when something unexpected happened. Emma's phone buzzed. It was a message from her childhood friend, Lucy, who had recently completed a degree in psychology. Lucy had always been a source of encouragement, and tonight was no different. Her message was simple but profound. What you tell yourself matters. It's time to change the conversation in your head. At first, Emma doesn't understand what Lucy means. She had never thought about the idea that her internal dialogue could be changed. It was just there, part of who she was. But Lucy's words lingered in her mind, and Emma couldn't stop thinking about them over the next few days. Curious, Emma decided to do some research on the topic of self-talk. She learned that self-talk is how we speak to ourselves, consciously and unconsciously. It shapes our beliefs, our perceptions, and ultimately, our actions. Positive self-talk can lead to greater confidence and resilience, while negative self-talk can lead to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and depression. Emma was startled to realize that the voice in her head had been sabotaging her for years, reinforcing every fear and insecurity she had. But perhaps the most surprising thing she learned was that she had the power to change it. Determined to take control of her inner dialogue, Emma embarked on a personal journey to transform her self-talk. It wasn't easy at first. Each time a negative thought surfaced, whether it was about her abilities, appearance, or future, she had to challenge it consciously. She started by practicing positive affirmations, repeating phrases like "I am capable" and "I am enough," even when she didn't fully believe them. When she made a mistake at work, instead of criticizing herself, she would remind herself that mistakes are a natural part of learning. When anxious about an upcoming presentation, She would tell herself, "I have prepared well. I am ready for this." Little by little, Emma noticed a shift in how she felt about herself. As time went by, the impact of Emma's new self-talk became undeniable. Her confidence grew, leading her to take on new challenges. She volunteered for leadership roles at work, something she had never considered before. She also signed up for a public speaking course, determined to face her old fear head-on. The more she pushed herself, the more she realized that the limits she had placed on herself were not real. They were a product of her mind. What was most remarkable was the change in her relationships. As her self-esteem improved, so did her interactions with others. She no longer sought constant validation from her friends and family because she had learned to validate herself. She became more compassionate, both to herself and to others, recognizing that everyone struggles with their inner dialogue. Emma's transformation didn't happen overnight. It took time, patience, and consistent effort. But as she continued to nurture positive self-talk, her life changed in ways she never imagined. She felt a sense of peace she hadn't known before, a sense of clarity and purpose from within. One day, as Emma sat down with Lucy over coffee, she thanked her friend for that fateful message months ago. Emma said, "You have no idea how those words changed my life. I used to think that I was a victim of my mind and that I had no control over the way I felt. But now I know how I talk to myself shapes everything." Lucy smiled. "The mind is powerful," she replied. "What we tell ourselves becomes our reality. But once you take control of that narrative, everything changes." Emma nodded, fully aware of the truth in those words. The once shy and uncertain young woman had transformed into a strong, confident, and capable individual. The inner voice, once filled with doubt, had now become her most excellent ally. For the first time in her life, she truly believed in herself. As Emma left the cafe that day, she reflected on her journey. The impact of self-talk had been profound, far more significant than she had ever imagined. It had the power to hold her back, but more importantly, it had the power to set her free. She realized that no matter what challenges lay ahead, she had the tools to face them, not just with determination, but with a mind that believed in her ability to overcome. And within that belief, she discovered her greatest strength. Your thoughts are the source of your emotions and mood. The conversations you have with yourself can be destructive or beneficial. They influence how you feel about yourself and how you respond to events in your life. Self-talk is extremely important because it significantly impacts how you feel, what you do, and even how you manage pain. It can either be supportive and motivating or negative and lower your confidence. Self-talk is something you naturally engage in throughout your waking hours. People are increasingly recognizing that positive self-talk is a powerful tool for boosting self-confidence and managing negative emotions. Those who can master positive self-talk are believed to be more confident, motivated, and productive. Positive self-talk can improve your daily life, enhancing confidence, motivation, and mental health. If you mainly think positively about yourself, you will feel good and optimistic most of the time. Research indicates that positive self-talk can enhance self-esteem, stress management, and well-being, and reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. It may take some time to identify your negative thoughts, as they may have been a part of you for a long time. However, with practice, replacing unhealthy negative thoughts with more positive ones will become easier. Conversely, if you mainly think negatively about yourself, you will feel bad most of the time. This negative self-talk can increase stress and anxiety and can contribute to depression and post-traumatic stress. The constant negative talk can be overwhelming and difficult to break out of, making it more challenging to deal with pain and affecting confidence and body image. Negative self-talk, often characterized by persistent negative thinking, can be a significant obstacle to overall mental and emotional well-being. Whether you realize it or not, negative self-talk and its associated biases can greatly impact your self-confidence and quality of life, and even affect the way you interact with your loved ones. Negative self-talk, the persistent inner voice of self-criticism and self-doubt, is like a shadow that follows you throughout your life, often leading to the rumination of negative things and negative emotions. This shadow can take various forms, often functioning automatically, habitually, and at times subconsciously. Negative self-talk manifests as your inner critic, constantly evaluating, belittling, and undermining your thoughts, actions, and worth. Negative self-talk is not just about the occasional moments of self-doubt or criticism. It can become a relentless pattern of thinking that erodes your self-esteem and hinders your ability to achieve your goals. Thinking negatively about yourself may seem like astute observations, but your thoughts and feelings about yourself are not necessarily accurate. Like everyone else, your thoughts can be influenced by biases and your mood, so they may not reflect the truth. Negative self-talk can have a devastating impact on your mental well-being. It can undermine your motivation, make you more vulnerable to mental health issues, and hinder your success in life. Fortunately, there are steps you can take to transform negative thoughts into more realistic or positive ones. Challenging negative self-talk, replacing negative thoughts, and treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend are a few helpful strategies. If you find it difficult to control these negative thoughts, consider seeking support from a mental health professional. Subscribe for more videos. Thank you.